All right, in this episode, we bring Coach Pixley back on the channel and a special surprise guest from the Cajun family. You won't want to miss this episode. We talk about playoff predictions. We give you our winners of every round and our NBA champion. We talk about our lists for the NBA awards for the 2024 season. We talk in great detail about just how good was this season that we saw from Victor Wembanyama. It may be better than I think most people even realize due to one overlooked factor. And then don't stop watching. Watch till the end because we get into a deep, deep dive of how tall exactly was Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone. So enjoy the video, guys. PWCC is a great way to sell your sports cards. If you're looking for a way to support the Cajun Cardboard YouTube channel, consider using the promo code CAJUN, all caps, CAJUN, when you're selling your cards on the PWCC marketplace.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we're back. It is NBA past and present. I have the coach picks, Jonathan Pixley, with us as usual. And I have brought in Cajun Jr. He has a name, and it's Cameron. This is his first appearance on the show, so this is his rookie appearance on, I think, all of YouTube, right? Have you ever been on YouTube?
My highlights.
Oh, your highlights, that's right. Well, that went viral, so I don't even know why I introduced you, you know?
Yeah, that was when I was 12, so I kind
That's
of
right. That was before the Red Storm. That was before the Red Storm brand went viral.
Right.
Now, we built it into a juggernaut. All right, so here's the topics today. We are talking about playoff prediction. It's real simple today. We're actually organized, and we've only got an hour, maybe an hour and 15 to do it. We're talking about NBA playoff predictions. So I'm going to pull up, and I've got it right here. So let's just share that right now. Let's go NBA playoff predictions right here. We'll kind of talk through that. Can y'all see that? Let me zoom in a little bit. There we go. This is as good as I can get. Whoa, sorry. Did something stupid. We're going to do NBA playoff predictions. Then we're going to do Coach Pix and I are going to do our awards. Cameron, we'll loop you in and get your input on some of this stuff. And then lastly, the third topic is just going to be Victor Wembanyama and his rookie season and sort of historical perspective or lack thereof by some people about what exactly we just saw in this 2023-24 season as it pertains to the alien Victor Wembanyama. So let's get cranking by just talking about the playoffs. Let's just go through it. So we were going to go down last night. Cam and I were going to go down, Jonathan, and watch that game, but I gave my tickets to my law partner and let him, take his friend down there. So they saw a great game. Zion comes down. And first of all, Zion was taking the game over.
Completely.
Which we haven't seen that very much. He's had a good season, but whenever it's been the biggest stage, he's either been at a buffet, sitting on the bench injured, or he didn't show up at a la the play-in game where it was the biggest stage of his career. I know that sounds funny, but it was, and he was a no-show. What do we know? Do we know anything? I looked up, and everybody was like, nobody knows anything or is not saying anything about what the injury was or whether he's going to play Friday night.
I know. What I do know is it just reinforces the reason why I said they should have traded him 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate because he was dominating the game. Literally, AD couldn't do anything with him. Nothing.
He was doing the same thing every time. Here's the deal. The guy weighs 900 pounds, and he gets from floor to rim faster than you can get from floor to rim. And even when you're a 6'11 AD, right? Now, I think I speak for all three of us. We're concerned about the long-term Zion, right?
He'll have a
lack of length and then such a huge reliance on athletic prowess. All right, we're getting sidetracked too much on Zion. So we don't know what's going to happen in the other play-in games tonight for the Eastern Conference. So there might be some contingency predictions here, but why don't we just start left to right, and we'll do the Western Conference first, then we'll do the Eastern Conference. I want to do this fast because we have a lot of award stuff, and then I want to sweat the nuts of Victor Wembanyama for quite a long time. Yes. Kings are in Pelicans. are playing for the 8th spot. The Lakers got the 7th spot. So congrats, Lakers. You get the Nuggets. Does it matter who wins Kings Pelicans against the Thunder? Jonathan, you might think it does.
I would have honestly, I thought if Zion was healthy, I thought the Pelicans could give the Thunder some problems. I still would pick the Thunder in the series, but it's an issue. The Kings, I don't know. I mean, I don't think that they're beating the Thunder. I still pick the Thunder regardless, so we'll just go with it. But I do believe
Thunder over the Kings or the Pelicans, even if Zion's healthy. Cam?
Yeah.
I'm going Thunder. I think they just have too much time.
And I'm going Thunder. And, the only argument could be, well, they're too young. They've never done it. And I was like, well, 2 years ago, the Nuggets were too young. They'd never done it. And so everybody's too young to do it until they do it, right? You can't win a title with the jump shooting team until the Warriors did it. You can't win you can't be a good team playing 2 7-footers until the Minnesota Timberwolves just did it. So we're all in agreement. Thunder over fill in the blank, Sacramento Pelicans.
Let's talk about something real quick. We talked about it a couple times ago, I think. The Thunder have that guy, right? Okay, so SGA is that guy. And I also think that SGA, okay, fine, you could say, yeah, he's been that in the regular season. He hadn't really had a chance to do it in the playoffs. I just don't feel like he's the guy because he's so even-keeled and he's so unemotional with what he does. I just feel like it's going to translate easily for him. I really do.
I do too, John. Well, I think the way he scores the ball is going to translate easy. Right. He's not – he can shoot it from 3. He has a great mid-range game. He's not so heavily reliant on makes or misses is what I'm saying. He's going to shoot 12 to 14 free throws, my opinion, in every single playoff game. He's going to shoot more free throws than he normally shoots, even though, refs kind of tend to swallow the whistle. I think his game is inducive to we're taking too much time. Thunder. Next, let's go Nuggets Lakers.
Nuggets.
Cam?
I think it's Nuggets.
Do Lakers get a game?
Yes.
1.
Yeah, I agree. 4-1 Nuggets. I'm in the same boat as y'all. 4-1 Nuggets. Yep. Clippers and Mavericks. I read on Kawhi. I just wanted to fill you guys in. I looked at everything. Kawhi Leonard he practiced for 1/4 of the practice. He's dealing with knee inflammation with no further details. If Kawhi, let me just throw this out there. If Kawhi does not play, how many games does it take the Mavericks?
5.
Yeah. If Kawhi plays, give me let's say Kawhi is perfectly healthy.
Mavs in 6.
Really? You're riding the hot horse.
Historically speaking, every playoff series they've matched up, no one's guarded Luka. He's averaged 35, right?
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
It doesn't
the Clippers have always won, though. The Clippers have won those series except for one, I think. The issue is Kawhi, you say perfectly healthy. I don't believe that.
No, he's not. Well, we know he's not perfectly healthy. I'm just saying if he can gut through 30 minutes a game. Here's the one thing that we do know. If he could only get through 1/4 of practice yesterday and is expecting to play a 7-game series against the Dallas Mavericks, that's one series, and then another series, then another series. You're talking about a dude who's going to have to play 20-plus games, right, to get to the finish line. So I would be very concerned if I was a Clippers fan. And this was the concern all along with these types of players. And I say these types of players because a lot of these guys have had potential injury issues in the past.
At least they can count on James Harden in the playoffs. That's a definite, right?
Yeah.
You know for a fact you can count.
We can count on what's going to happen if that's what you mean. I am also going to ride the hot horse. That's what she said. And go with Mavericks. So Mavericks are through. Timberwolves and Suns. This is where it gets a little bit tricky, in my opinion. Could not be more polar opposite, the types of teams that these are. High octane offense, very little defense, maybe the best defense in the league, and then not so fantastic, overwhelming, eye-popping statistical offense, but ISO scores, playoff ready, 3-level scores all over the freaking place in this game, dude.
Yep. Do you what's the story on Cat? What's his deal?
I think he's back and he is playing.
Okay, so Suns and
should we check on that? We should probably check on that. I probably should. I heard he came back late in the regular season. They kind of nursed him along, so I assumed he was healthy.
Yeah. The reason why while you're looking that up, I was going to let's see.
Yeah, he returned before the end of the regular season. I think he's good to go.
Okay.
April 9th. This was 8 days ago. Yeah, he came back and played. I think he's fine. He even had a decent game somewhere in there. So I think we're okay on Cat.
Okay, so I'll take, because he's playing, I'll take Suns in 6.
I knew you were going to say that. Cam, what do you think?
I also agree, Suns in 6, even though personally do not want them to win. I don't like any of the big three. I don't like any of them. So
You don't like any big threes?
I don't like any of the Suns, any players on the Suns, big three.
Oh, okay. I thought you just meant big threes in general, because this podcast is a big three.
Yeah, you could say that.
That's
Hey, speaking of big three, Cam, obviously the Warriors have practiced later. Oh, that's right, they lost last night.
No, we
What's
canceled.
going to happen to that big three? Are you letting Draymond go, since obviously you're in the front office?
If I was the general manager, I'm just the assistant to the general manager. I would trade Draymond and Clay. I would honestly just cut Draymond. I don't even want to trade him.
I like it. Okay. Okay.
I want him to go away.
Clay's done. I don't think he's a trade asset. Like, his contract's up, is he not? So I think he's a free agent.
Yeah.
The question is, are they going to give him the, kind of like, thank you for your service contract? But I don't know. Last night was serious. Like, that was woefully bad. Zeros everywhere. Not good. Okay, I'm going to take the Timberwolves. I think the Timberwolves do it. I just think defense travels, especially into the playoffs, and I think the Suns are going to get absolutely murdered on the boards. I mean, murdered, destroyed, murdered.
Anthony Edwards. I want this to be the coming out party.
You'll see it. You're going to see it, and you're going to see it on both ends of the court. And I think Anthony Edwards is, the question is, do they put him on Booker or do they put him on Durant? I think they put Jaden McDaniels on Durant for the length, and they put Anthony Edwards on Booker, they're both kind of similar size. A lot of people don't realize Booker's 6'6", huh, Jonathan? We coached against him in the EYBL.
6'5".
6'6", long though, really good. Yeah. So I can't wait to watch that, dude. I really can't wait to watch it. And then Naz Reid, again, LSU product. We need to talk about Naz. We're going to talk about it when we get to our awards section, I think. We'll see, maybe. So, all right, Thunder or Thunder Mavericks? We all have Thunder Mavericks. Yes, we all have Thunder Mavericks.
Yes, correct.
Thunder or Mavericks?
I'm gonna go Mavs. Still,
Cam?
I agree. I don't want to keep agreeing, but I do agree with that one.
I go Thunder. Then I have the T-Wolves. Everybody's got the Nuggets. Does it matter? T-Wolves or Suns versus the Nuggets? You guys have Nuggets easily.
Yes. No,
I have Nuggets over the T-Wolves because they're not quite there. They're just not quite ready.
I have them over them because they have Nikola Jokic. And
that's not good enough. I mean, I know you. Best player, best team. I get it. I understand all that. Thunder, Nuggets. That's what everybody's got. Let's do it.
Okay.
Nuggets in 6.
No, I have the Mavs.
Oh, you and Cam both have the Mavs. I have the Thunder over the Mavericks. I think Thunder beat the Mavericks.
Okay. I still have the Nuggets regardless.
Cam?
Yep.
All right. I think we all have the Nuggets coming out of the West. Let's go to the East, and let's, there's 4 teams in the play-in. I think the team that, and again, we've done this every year. We're going to ignore the Heat again. But the team I think that matters the most in the play-in, and the team that everybody wants to avoid, is the 76ers, right? Because now it looks like Embiid's back, and we think he's healthy. So let's assume that the 76ers emerge and win that game against the Heat, and they're the 7 seed. It's a home game for the Sixers tonight against the Heat. If they win, they're the 7 against the Knicks. The Knicks, for better or worse, and I don't know, I'm going to get y'all's opinion on this. Knicks won a game that the Knicks kind of could have controlled whether they finished second or third. They chose to finish second.
Yep.
Okay. And knowing that they could get the Sixers, of course, the Sixers could also lose, then win, and then they would have gotten the Celtics. But would you have tried to win the 2 seed? Do you think that was a good idea, Jonathan, for the Knicks?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I know everybody's saying Philly is the most dangerous thing, and I get all that. I don't believe in Joel Embiid in the playoffs until he does it. So I could care less. The Heat situation is weird because we keep betting against them. So I'm actually going to pick Miami to beat Philadelphia tonight.
Get out of here, dude. Not happening.
Well, look, when Embiid does it in the playoffs, I'll flip. I will.
All
I
right.
just haven't seen him do it. That's my deal. Now, I don't care who wins that series. Oh, I'm sorry. I take that back. If the Sixers win the game and they're the 7th seed and they play the Knicks, I think the Knicks win the series because I think they punked the Sixers. Okay. If it's the Heat and the Knicks, that's a different story, in my opinion.
If it's the Heat and the Knicks, here we are with Allen Houston matching up with Alonzo Mourning and all those boys back in the day, right?
The game would be 88-86 in the.
Yeah.
In
Exactly. All right. So I think the Sixers win tonight, and I think the Sixers beat the Knicks.
Okay.
That's just my opinion. I know the Knicks, the feel-good story and all that. I think the Sixers come out of that. I'm going to go talent over everything. And I'm going to use your favorite tagline, best player on the floor, that team wins in the playoffs. So I'm going with Embiid because the Knicks, yeah, Brunson's great, but no Julius Randle. Anunoby's bouncing around, good, bad. We don't know. So I'm going to go with Sixers. Bulls, Hawks, I don't think that matters at all. Whoever gets the Celtics, even if the Sixers get the Celtics, I think, are a historically good team. They steamroll in round one. Y'all agree with that?
Yes.
Yep.
Magic and Cavaliers.
Magic.
Yep.
Two teams trending in the wrong direction quick.
Agreed. Orlando.
The Cavs are just stale.
Okay.
I don't think they're fun to watch.
I'm going to go Cavaliers. Because, and I'm going to do best player on the floor rule right here that Coach Pixley loves so much. I think Donovan Mitchell just is too good.
I don't think so.
I don't think he wants to be in Cleveland. And so I think it doesn't matter. And so you look at the next best players. I mean, Brian, I know you're a huge Evan Mobley fan, but I'm going to say that.
Yeah.
I'm going to say.
You mean Tim Duncan? You mean Tim Garnett?
The Cavs roster has just turned out to be not nearly as good as everybody thought it was going to be when we made the trade last year. That's it.
I don't know, man. I just think they're significantly more talented than the Magic. I just do.
No, that's craziness.
No, I do. Because if we go player by player, they're better almost all the way through.
I don't think the separation between Mitchell and Banchero is that great.
I do. I think
Jalen
it's very great. I think it's very great. All right, we're going to see. Here's the deal. I'll say Cavs in 5. This is what people need to remember in the comments. So this may not age well, but I'm saying right now, Cavs in 5.
Magic in 6.
Cam?
I'm going to go Magic in 7.
Magic on the road in Game 7 against the
Cavs.
Jalen Suggs catches fire, or one of their 11 other.
He's one of the better perimeter defenders.
He is. Right? He's a great defender. His name should come up when we get to the all defensive team. Bucks and Pacers.
Is Giannis's deal? Is he good?
No, he's not good. He's not playing in Game 1. Last I checked, he is not playing in Game 1. They hope to have him at some point in the series.
Pacers. I know you hate to hear that, man.
Cam?
I don't want to hear that, but I'll go Bucks in 6.
I am going to say I don't think Giannis is – I feel like we've been through this before in a Heat series. It was the exact same situation where we were supposed to win. I say we because that's my favorite team, so I'm not objective. And then they're like, we're going to hold Giannis out until we can't hold him out anymore. That's kind of what this situation sounds like. And I think the history is going to repeat itself. I think the Pacers are going to win the series.
Dude, and the Pacers were destroyed Milwaukee like every time they played them earlier in the season. When
something wrong. Yeah, there's it's not a good deal here. It's not. Well, I know what's wrong is that the Pacers are pacing space like a mother, and Miles Turner can stroke threes, and Brook Lopez can stroke threes as well, but Brook Lopez can't get out there, and he just can't get away from the rim. And so, we'll see if Doc Rivers is less stubborn than Mike Budenholzer was in his days. Yes. And see if the Bucks can sneak it out. But I fear the worst. I feel like they're not even going to put Giannis on the floor until maybe they've dug a hole for themselves. That's my opinion. If they lose one at home, I think it's a wrap. That's let's put it that way.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. Celtics and you guys have the match. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I think the Celtics sweep anybody. I think the Celtics are going to be 8-0 after.
I agree.
8 games. Okay.
I agree. Yeah.
Bucks and Pacers. Cam has Bucks. We have Pacers. This is where it gets a little tricky because you have the Heat. We have the Sixers. I don't even know who's coming out of here. Who's coming out of Knicks? Do we do Knicks and Sixers yet, or Knicks and Heat?
So again,
I have the Sixers coming out.
yeah, I know. I think the Knicks punked the Sixers. So, and I have the Heat beating the Sixers tonight. So I'm going to take the Heat over the Knicks in the first round.
Okay, Cam?
I'm going to go with the Knicks over anybody.
The Knicks are going to beat the Bucks. That's what you have.
Can the Knicks beat the Bucks?
No, that's what you have, right? Knicks versus Bucks.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Okay. I have Sixers versus Pacers, and I take the Sixers. I think the two most talented teams are going to meet in the Eastern Conference Finals. It's the Celtics versus the Sixers.
I have the Heat over the Pacers because I'm going to be the one who doesn't continue to pick against the Heat every year. Finally.
Well, it's going to be ironic because it's going to get you this year because the Heat are going to suck ass. All right, I have the Celtics being 12-0. I think they're going to sweep everybody. I think they're 12-0 heading into the finals. That's my personal opinion. I think Joe Mazzulla's had this group of uber talented, historically, analytically incredible team focused for an entire regular season, which is hard to do when you've been there, done that. It is hard to do. So Joe Mazzulla deserves some credit for that, and at least deserves a nod in the Coach of the Year conversation that we're about to have. So I have Celtics rolling through the East 12-0 and facing the Nuggets. And did y'all also have Nuggets?
Yes.
What about Celtics versus whoever the hell y'all have down there? I can't even remember.
Denver. We both had Denver.
No, coming out of the bottom, you don't have any. Y'all both have the Celtics, right?
Okay.
So Celtics Nuggets. So everybody's got Celtics Nuggets, just like everybody ever. So we just wasted 20 minutes. All right. So Celtics Nuggets. Any chance the Celtics Nuggets? This should be split. I think we're not going to be on the same page as this. I have said from the jump, I think the Celtics. I think the Celtics win it this year. That's just me. Even though I do acknowledge that the Nuggets have the best player in the series.
I'm flipping it now, and I'm going to add some drama to it because I'm going to say that Denver's going to win in 7. That Jokic is going to go into onto Boston's floor and beat them. And solidify himself as one of the 10 greatest players of all time.
If he does that, that gives him – he's going to get his 3rd MVP. We'll talk about MVP, but he's winning it. And so Vegas ain't that wrong. So Jokic is winning his 3rd in 4 years, I think, right? Yeah, 3rd and 4 because Embiid snuck one in, which could have gone either way.
Yep.
This will be his 2nd title. The list of 3 MVPs and 2 titles is a very, very, very small list.
Yes.
And I'm trying to think if there's anybody with 3 MVPs and 2 titles that is not a top 10 player of all time. Did Moses get
one
title?
One title.
But he had 3 MVPs.
Correct. But he's not top 10.
But he's not top 10. We agree on he's not top 10, but he's top 20. Would anybody else come to mind? Dirk has not 3 MVPs. He's only got 1 title. Who else out there? Is there anybody else out there with 3 MVPs and 2 titles that's not top 10?
Well, no, that's for sure. But like Kobe is, for example, if you consider him in top 10, he has 5 titles, but he only has 1 MVP.
That's what I mean. So nobody's done what Jokic is about to do and not consensus considered a top 10 player. Moses is the only one that I can think of.
Yeah, I think Moses is the only 3-time MVP that's not in the top 10.
Yeah, I think you're right. All right, that's interesting. All right, so now we got to move on. All right, you ready? I'm going to take y'all off of that so we don't see my list. Now we're going through awards. Let's go quick through these because I think a lot of this is going to be chalk. Yep. MVP, give me your top 5 in order, Jonathan.
Jokic, SGA, Luka, Giannis, and Tatum.
All right. I am Jokic, Doncic ahead of SGA just because the statistics are so overwhelming.
I was close on
Giannis and Tatum. And because, I always give a little bit less weight to the team success. I know that's important, but for me, it's like I'm always looking for the player, most valuable player, not most valuable
It's
team.
weird, though, if the OKC doesn't get the 1 seed, I'd have had Luka ahead.
It mattered that much? Yeah. I mean, I think it was a tiebreaker one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Cam, you don't have anybody else in your top 5. I know your order is the same with Jokic.
Who is your 5?
Mine is Jokic, Doncic, SGA, Giannis, Tatum. His was Jokic, SGA, Doncic, Giannis, Tatum.
Yeah, same 5, just different.
Same
order.
5. I'd go with yours, Dad. But
yeah, it's the same 5, right? You don't have anybody else in there. I mean, I know. Who are you even
some
talking
people
about?
had Brunson on theirs instead of.
I know, and I saw that, and there's an argument for Brunson over Tatum, but at some point, best player, best team. Unless his stats were like, if he was 17-6 or something, that's one thing. But Tatum put up some pretty good numbers too. I would probably say Brunson's numbers were better across the board if I had to guess without looking. But not that it matters because none of those guys are sniffing Jokic winning the MVP. Okay, rookie of the year, Wembanyama.
Yeah.
At one point, maybe a month and maybe even 2 months into the season, it was a conversation. If not Chet in the lead, I think we can all agree Wembanyama reeled him in like a bass in a lake down here in South Louisiana and then never looked back. It is clearly Wembanyama.
Wembanyama had, I think for sure, without question, one of the 10 greatest rookie seasons of all time.
Stop. We're going to have an entire segment on that. We're getting there. Don't waste it. Wembanyama. Unanimous. Yep. First team, all rookie team. Jonathan.
Okay, so mine was Wembanyama, obviously. Chet.
Yep.
Derek Lively, Brandon Miller, and Amen Thompson.
Okay, I'm close. I'm Wembanyama, Chet, Brandon Miller, Amen Thompson, and I looked at it. Lively didn't play very many games. He played 48 games. I had Podziemski on there. I didn't realize Podziemski's numbers were that good across the board.
Yeah, he played well. I had him on the second team.
Yeah, I got Podziemski. That fifth spot, I think Amen Thompson was the fourth for sure. I guess it could be argued there's other guys that had pretty good seasons. Podziemski and Jaime Jaquez, believe it or not, were the two that I couldn't decide between because they were very similar. But I think Podziemski probably finished the season stronger and had more momentum. I went with Podziemski, but I don't hate you for sneaking your guy Lively in there. He really mattered at one point, and then when Gafford got there, he just didn't matter as much because I think Gafford's the same player. He's just a few years ahead of him, physically. So all in all, I think Lively may end up being the better player, but right now Gafford's the better player for sure.
Yes,
but same exact game. Cam, anybody that I know you have Wembanyama, Chet, Brandon Miller. Anybody else come to mind that you would have thought first team?
Aside from those three, I couldn't name two other rookies.
Okay, good.
So
thank you for watching the league pass that I pay so much for. All right, second team all rookie. I've got Lively. Jonathan, you've got Podziemski. Fill it in from there. I can't believe one of these guys I'm about to say because he was having a historically bad rookie year. And then sort of kind of figured it out, but we're still waiting to see. So tell me who your second team is.
I did not have Scoot Henderson, and I know that's who you're having on there.
It is.
I just couldn't do it. Jaime Jaquez, Gigi Jackson, Cam Whitmore I actually put on there from Houston. I thought he had a pretty good a better season than I guess that I thought he was capable of having. And then Keontae George from Utah, who it was random, but I did happen to turn on a Jazz game and see him.
He looks the part, dude. He looks the part.
He has now his numbers, and I don't really hold overall field goal percentage against rookies oftentimes, right?
Yeah.
But he was under 40%, so it really was between him and Scoot for me.
Yeah.
And I picked him, so that was it.
He and Scoot both struggled to find the the part of the goal inside the rim.
So look, and I know you're going to name him. Scoot Steele to me is simple. He had a terrible start, and he did turn it around, but on a completely meaningless situation. And I guess Utah's could be viewed as that as well.
Same thing.
Yeah. So.
Scoot had a lot less talent around him, in my opinion, or a lot less dependable talent around him because they were really shuffling stuff around to try to lose games. Yeah. I have Scoot, who I am still worried he could be, he's in the same boat that Jaden Ivey was after his rookie year. It's like, God, if this in Suggs, I was like, if this guy can't shoot,
right.
I don't know what his purpose is. I don't know where his ceiling is. It may be a lot lower than people think. But I've seen enough physically, obviously he's special. Athletically, it seems like he's got the Colin Sexton, Westbrook kind of slap the floor, I'm going to punch you in your face type attitude, which will go a long way in this league. I had Scoot, I had Keontae George, I had Jaime Jaquez, I had Derek Lively, and I had Gigi Jackson. To give some flowers to your guy, Cam Whitmore, he might have more upside than anybody on that second team for sure. Yeah. If he ever gets loose and gets like a consistent 30 minutes, I think we might be looking at a pretty special basketball player. If I was into basketball card prospecting still, I think Cam Whitmore will be a guy that I would keep my eye on because I always used to look for players that I could envision one day being a franchise alpha. Mm-hmm. And I think Cam Whitmore is a guy that checks a lot of boxes. We'll put it that way. A lot of boxes. All right. The 151st Best Player Award. Oh, I'm sorry, sixth man of the year. That's what they call it. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
The sixth man award. I didn't do it.
Okay, you know why?
Because I don't care.
Because it's the 151st best player. This is like 5 starters, 30 teams. This is stupid. This is really stupid. It's a stupid award where people are penalized for starting.
Is it Al Horford? Is that who it is? Is Al Horford? Did he not come off the bench enough?
No, stop. It comes down to Malik Monk and Naz Reid.
That's right.
Portis LeVert, Norman Powell, all those kind of guys are going to get mentions, but ultimately it's Naz Reid and Malik Monk. I went with Naz Reid. I did not realize how good he was, and he finished really strong. He finished really strong when Cat went down. He was very, very, very good statistically because he kicked my ass in fantasy. It's part of the reason why we lost our league. But I think it comes down to Naz Reid and Malik Monk, and I went with Naz, man, just because their team was better.
I would have put a vote in for Jamal Crawford probably at some point.
Yeah, you probably would have put a vote. That's how much basketball you watch. What I did want to look at, but I didn't care enough to do so, is how good their respective teams, like rating, offensive and defensive ratings, were when they were on and off the court. I just didn't care enough about the reward, but I just don't care. It doesn't matter.
Move on.
They're both average NBA starters if you put them on a team. That's kind of the reasons. Like, why is there an award for this? I don't get it. Defensive Player of the Year. This is going to be interesting. So go for it.
So Gobert's going to win it, but I'm going to pick Wembanyama. Okay.
Same. Exactly.
100%.
Cam?
And I'll say this: I don't think it's close.
I don't either.
Right.
I don't think it's remotely close. Right. And here's some stuff that we talked about, Jonathan. I called you the other day. Yeah. The San Antonio Spurs were the very last place defensive team in the league. Last when Wembanyama's not on the floor.
Yes.
When he's on the floor, they are a top 5 defensive team in the NBA. Yeah. That is making a difference. Gobert is the best analytically, statistically, the best defensive player on the best defensive team. But that's a defensive team. There's some other dudes on that team that can guard their balls off. I mean, really defend. Namely Jaden McDaniels, who some people might have on their NBA first or second team all defensive team. It could be argued. Conley is a midget, but he's a very good team defender. Anthony Edwards is elite defensively when he can be, right? When he's got the juice to do it. Right. And then obviously, Karl Anthony Towns was in and out of the lineup, and he's kind of is what he is defensively. But I don't think it's close. I think the other argument is we do this argument with Wilt and Bill Russell, Jonathan. What's the argument I'm about to make? Flip them.
Switch
Flip
teams.
them. Yeah. Yes. Put Victor Wembanyama on the Timberwolves, and not only are they maybe the greatest defensive team in history, statistically, analytically, I might pick them to meet up with the Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals. That's the difference between Wembanyama and Gobert. And if you're comparing players, let's not even do it. Let's not even start doing that because one of them plays offense and the other one just doesn't.
Yeah.
I didn't do my all defensive teams. Did you do the teams? Okay, I didn't. Go ahead and name them, and let's just see what you.
So I did have Gobert on the team, obviously.
Yeah.
On first team. So Gobert, Wembanyama, AD, Herb Jones, and I just threw the Celtics some flowers. So I figured Derek White was the better of the two this year out of Drew Holiday and him, although I have always thought Drew Holiday was a phenomenal guard, even though Jimmy Butler pissed on him last year. I think that so those would be my 5. My second team was Bam Adebayo, Drew Holiday, Jalen Suggs, who I really wanted to put on the first team, but I had to put Celtic on there. Jaden McDaniel and Alex Caruso, which was difficult for me to do because the Bulls are the Bulls, but he's special. I wanted to put Anthony Edwards on there as a second team guy, but I don't know.
I don't understand why they didn't move. What are the Bulls front office doing? Like, why would they not move Caruso at the trade deadline? They could have gotten a shitload for him, dude. There's so many teams out there that were looking for that exact player that were playoff contenders, and the Bulls are not. The Bulls are spinning their wheels. They're not going anywhere. I mean, their best players are not going to be very good for much longer with DeRozan and Vujacic, and Kobe White, who we're about to talk about, is really good. It looks to be the lead guard for the future. I like your list, dude. The one person that I never heard this guy's name get mentioned by anybody anywhere but we've talked about this before. This is probably the person that I would least want to be guarding me if I was a perimeter player. It's the German assassin, Lou Dort.
Lou Dort was literally number 11 on my list.
Why? I haven't heard, and I know you know, but I mean, like, I watched Lou Dort play. I was like, why is nobody? I got to go see him in person down when we watched OKC. Cam, did you go to that game with me, Pelicans, OKC, or did I bring somebody else? I brought Will down there. Yeah. He's elite, man. And again, he lacks the length to do some of the things. This is kind of a big man award, right? Usually, unless somebody feels sorry for Marcus Smart, it's going to be a big man that wins it. But Lou Dort's he's a monster. He's the last person I would want guarding me if I was 6'5". Let's just put it that way.
He was number 11 on my list, and Anthony Edwards was number 12.
That's fair. Most improved player.
Tyrese Maxey.
I have 3 names. Cam, can you think of any?
You're not going to like my answer. Denny Advia.
Dude, he did, because we used to cuss at the TV.
No,
this dude will not pass the ball. That goes right every time.
When he got drafted and they said his nickname was the Prince of Tel Aviv, I was on him. You were against him.
Yeah. Well, it's because I watched him play, and his court vision is like that of a turtle. He does not share the ball. He only goes right as fast as he can. He jumps into you and gets a foul, or he shoots a layup. Occasionally, he'll shoot a catch and shoot 3. He had a really good season. I'll be the first one to admit it. Now, again, he was doing it in the middle of an NBA cesspool, but he did have a really good season. Look, that's a pretty decent bet. I'm not giving him an award, though.
Having a good season with Kyle Kuzma and Jordan Poole on your team is impressive.
I literally, for half the season, because we drafted Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole was my brainchild for our fantasy basketball team. I said he's gonna average high 20s, maybe touch 30, and he's gonna lead the league in threes. No, he was terrific.
Y'all said he might lead the league in scoring.
I said it, and I had good, valid reasons for saying that, because he really likes to shoot.
Yeah, I thought for sure he'd be top 10 in the league in scoring.
For sure. What happened was he got there expecting to be the alpha, and Kuzma and Abdul both said, we're going to shoot as much or more than you. Watch this. And I think they got a fight in the locker room.
Let me tell you what happened. We all know what happened. What happened was Draymond Green punched him in his freaking mouth. That's what happened.
That is what happened. That's how you humble somebody real quick. As much as I don't like Draymond, I don't mind him punching him in the face. My most improved is going to shock everybody, because I think the general consensus is Tyrese Maxey. And then I think everybody there was a late push made by Kobe White. But I look closer at it, and here's what I looked at, and I've got some stuff to share with you guys. I'm going to pull it up real quick. Let me show you. So what you want to look at is you want to look at last season for the player and this season for the player. And I think you need to look at their per 36 minutes, because if Tyrese Maxey's numbers go off the chart and Kobe White's numbers go off the chart and their counting stats are just astronomically better, and it's simply because they played 6, 7, 8 more minutes, well, that's not really improving. That's just you got more minutes, right? You did the same thing you normally do, but you got more minutes to do it in, so you get better numbers. So Tyrese Maxey did improve. 3 more points per game, 2.1 more assists per game, and then 0.4 rebounds. But he shot worse from 2, much worse from 3, and overall down 3% from the field. Yeah. But he played a bunch more minutes, okay? Kobe White, same drill. He bumped his scoring 4 points per game. He had more assists, the same rebounds. He shot about the same from 2, almost exactly the same from the field, and almost exactly the same from 3. So he played well. He just played more minutes because his minutes bumped up. The one guy who got more minutes and played better is my guy, your guy, Jonathan, Jalen Williams. And he really took a step forward. Look at his per 36 minutes jump. He jumped almost 5.2 points per game. He blocked more shots. Steals are about the same. He assisted 1.3 more. He rebounded a little bit worse. His free throw percentage stayed, but look at his percentages. His 3-point percentage went from 35% to to 42.7%. That matters. That's a huge difference and has a lot to do with why OKC is at the top of the West. And then his field goal percentage went from 52% to 54% for a guard, forward, guard, wing, whatever you want to call him. I'm giving it to Jalen Williams, and I'm actually going to reverse course and say it matters to me. He was on the best team in the league. And I think Tyrese Maxey, he was trying to do it as the third fiddle pretty much. And Tyrese Maxey got to do it as the alpha. And then Kobe White got to do it. I say the alpha because Embiid was out for a long stretch where Tyrese got to do whatever the hell he wanted. And then Kobe did it as what? The second, maybe you could say he was the third best player on the team behind DeRozan and Vujacic, I guess. It's a tight race, man. But I'm going to go Jalen Williams, Maxey, Kobe White in that order.
Jalen Williams was number 2 for me. And I did not have Kobe White on there because I couldn't put 2 Bulls on any of my lists. So anyhow, I had Caruso all defense.
That's right, you did. So did you have anybody else on your list for?
It's going to be weird because he had a great year last year, but I felt like he took a huge step forward, and I put Jalen Brunson as number 3.
A lot of people were talking about that, and they're like, "What is this award? What are we doing? Does it have to be bad to good? Right. Can it be serviceable to all-star, or is it like should have made an all-star team to making an all-NBA team?" It could be any of those things. I think it's just like a big hodgepodge. I think the voting is going to be crazy for that, but I think Maxey ends up getting it, which is fine because I got a big chunk of money on him in FanDuel.
So do I.
It's going to work out great for us. We're going to have a party. Coach of the year. I got 4 names in order, but number 1 stands apart in my opinion.
Go ahead. I'll let you
Dagnall.
Yeah, me too.
Cam?
Is that the Thunder coach?
Yeah.
Yeah, him. Missouri.
Who do you have 2, John? Who do you have 2, Jonathan?
Tibbs.
Oh, I don't have Tibbs at all. Okay, fair enough.
They're the 2 seed, dude, and they lost Randall, and
I know they were 2 seed in the East.
I understand. I get it. You know.
I got Finch on here.
Yeah, I like him too.
And I can see the argument for Finch is the same as Tibbs. And then I got Jamal Mosley on here because I don't think the talent level in Orlando is what you think it is. I know y'all think they're just like OKC East. I don't think
they have a guy. I mean, Banchero may end up being a guy like that, but not yet. So I get it. I do.
And then I got Missoula 4th. My God, I mean, you win the most games in the league, and and again, does he have the most talent? By far, like depth, everything. He checks every box. He's got every single bullet in the arsenal you could ever ask for. But at the same time, you still got to keep all that crap together. And we've seen coaches in the past not be able to keep that crap together.
Yeah.
Right.
I had Missoula 3. I had Finch 4. I had Mosley 5.
All fair. Yeah. I think those 5 kind of stand apart. The more, when Missoula first got that job, I felt like he looked like a kid that was overwhelmed. Yep. And the more I watch and the more I listen and the more I listen to him talk, I love the dude as a human being. He sounds like freaking quality, man. He sounds like just pure class. And then to be able to step in and be a voice of reason and pull all that talent together where, there's coaches in the past that have failed to do that with teams just like this. So.
100%.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
We got Jason Tatum to back off too, which is a big deal. You know what I'm saying? To me,
big deal.
Best player to buy into that. Jaylen Brown to a degree too. I think those things are huge. So anyhow,
I'm ready. The last topic is gonna sound like a pole smoking session here, or whatever you want to call it, for lack of a better term.
Verbal porn film.
Yes, this is gonna be bad. And look, I have no dog in this hunt. The Spurs are the franchise I hate the most in the league. Yeah. I've always hated the Spurs, despite the fact that I did respect Duncan and David Robinson. I don't like Popovich. I think he's an asshole. Yeah. I think he may get a little too much credit for his resume, and there's other people out there like that come to mind.
Most coaches do.
Most coaches and players, right? Coaches sometimes get too much credit, too much blame. I don't like the Spurs. I don't own any Victor Wembanyama cards. So the guys that are watching my channel, this is not a pump and dump thing. I am saying I think he might have had the greatest rookie season in the history of the NBA, other than Wilt Chamberlain.
Okay.
I've got some stats to back that up. Okay. That I'm going to share.
Yeah, Wilt, we would agree. 100%, you can't argue had the greatest rookie season of all time. It's not close. Not close.
There's Wilt.
Especially if they would have kept blocks.
Here you go. Here you go. They didn't keep blocks, but the rumor is Wilt blocked somewhere between 9 and 11.
Right.
Based on going back and watching the few games they did record and then extrapolating that over the season, people think he would have blocked between 9 and 11, which makes me think he probably would have had 65 triple doubles probably in his rookie season. That's just
Plumbers and firemen.
Yeah, apples and oranges. Anyway, there's Wilt. He averaged 37.6 and 27 and won the MVP his rookie year. But what's interesting, Jonathan, is the percentages. And the percentages back then were different. But Wembanyama shot a shitload of threes and a bunch of really bad threes, if I'm not mistaken, from the games that I watched. And he shot 46% from the field, which is still higher than Wilt, who I know people think he dunked everything because he was playing against a bunch of, chicken farmers and stuff. But he actually shot a bunch of fadeaways.
It's so crazy to think that he was 7'2", playing against, insurance salesman, and he absolutely shot under 50%. How's that possible?
I don't know how that's possible. He's freaking 7'3". Okay, can we start there? He's like, what the hell's happening? Anyway, so we're gonna take Wilt out of the equation. So if I asked you, Cam, who's had the greatest rookie seasons in history, starting, let's throw Wilt out the window and just start in the 60s all the way through today, best rookie seasons ever?
Well, obviously, I would say Jordan and LeBron are somewhere in there.
Okay.
LeBron, no, because he averaged like 20 a game, I think, if I remember correctly.
Well, I got him pulled up because I thought LeBron was one of the greatest rookie seasons of all time. He averaged 21, 5.5, and 6, and 1.6 steals. It's a pretty good rookie season.
What did Shaq probably?
I got Shaq pulled up, and we're going to look at that in just a second. But what we're going to look at, this is, and again, it cuts both ways, but we're going to look at per 36-minute stats because this is where I think the sleeping giant is. This is what I don't think people realize. And I know this sounds funny coming from a 50-year-old, a 50-year-old guy, but you've got to break this down into per 36 minutes to truly see what we just witnessed.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
Giannis plays 30 minutes a game now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just the way that things are today. So
I know that, but we can't compare rookie seasons between Victor Wembanyama and LeBron. When LeBron's rookie season, he played 39.5 minutes a game, and Wembanyama played 29.
I do understand where you're coming from. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying.
Well, do you? Because if you extrapolate, and you can't extrapolate it perfectly because Wembanyama might not have been able to carry the load for 10 more minutes a game. Right. So I get that. It does cut both ways. And would Wembanyama's efficiency have dropped if he was playing 10 more fatigue minutes a game? Yes. All those things are true. But Wembanyama averaged, 10.6 rebounds a game? He might have averaged 14 rebounds a game if he'd have played 39 minutes a game. Did he block 3.6? He might have blocked 5.5 shots if he'd have played 39 minutes a game. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot more.
Might have also played 40 games.
That's the other thing, right? So it does cut both ways, but I don't want to just compare aggregate stats. I want to compare the possibilities in the future if Wembanyama can ramp his minutes up to a normal 34-35. I'm not asking him to play 40 like LeBron. What did Shaq play his rookie season? Shaq played 38. LeBron played 39.5. Kareem played 43.1 minutes a game.
A little different game.
What a different game? 43 minutes a game? Why don't you go ahead and look at Kareem versus Wembanyama in every other category? Wembanyama was better than everything statistically.
Well, but
efficiency-wise.
Wasn't, dude.
Efficiency-wise.
Dude, you mean the stats that they keep now that they didn't then?
Hold on. 14 more minutes a game. If you tack on 14 minutes a game to Wembanyama, you don't think he's 28 and 14?
No, I don't.
14 minutes. That's like playing another quarter. More than another quarter for Wembanyama.
There's a reason he didn't play that many more games. Dude, that puts him at 43 minutes a game. He would have died in the first month. He'd have died. Yeah.
Well, I guess maybe we should go the other way. What if instead of Kareem getting to play 43 minutes a game, he had to play 29 minutes a game like Wembanyama? What would his numbers be? That's the question.
Just do your 36-minute thing. That's fine. That'll be interesting to see anyhow. We'll do it.
Okay. Yeah. Per 36 minutes, Kareem versus Wembanyama. Wembanyama, more points, didn't collect those. 1.3 more assists, more rebounds, a significantly better free throw shooter by some margin, 14%. Obviously, he made a bazillion more, 160 more threes. He shot a better percentage from 2 and it should be a much better effective field goal percentage. Where do I find that? I don't think it's in there. Damn, it's not in there. You know, I don't think they do effective field goal percentage per 36 minutes because it wouldn't change. Well, we can just look effective field goal percentage. We find it because I think that's important because you got to factor in the threes, right?
Yeah.
Fuck. By the way, a better PER than Kareem as well, which is, you know, kind of the big metric. Effective field goal percentage, Wembanyama better. So better in every single measurable.
Yeah.
With Kareem, right? Let's look at Shaq per
Except,
36 minutes. Per 36 minutes. Let me zoom
hold
in.
on 1 second. Back up. Didn't Kareem win a title in his rookie year? Or did they?
All NBA, no. No, you know he didn't. He didn't win it until Oscar in the 70s.
It was the next year, I think, actually. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you're right.
No, I thought it was like 71 or 73 or something, wasn't it?
I think it was like 71. So it's probably
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, because his rookie was 69-70. And then, yeah.
It was the next year. Yeah.
No, but he was all NBA, all defense, and all-star.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So that's Kareem. Let's compare Shaq, right? Because Shaq's rookie season was absurd, right? Especially from a points and rebound perspective. But if we look at per 36 minutes, Wemby significantly more points, more blocks, which is saying something because young Shaq was blocking everything. Twice as many steals, 3 times as many as 2.5 times as many assists, almost the same rebounds, Jonathan.
Yeah.
13.2 to 12.9. True shooting percentage, we're about to get to it. 79% free throws. Wemby 79.6%. We know Shaq couldn't do that. Shaq never took threes. Wembanyama field goal percentage is always going to look lower because he took so many threes, and so it's just hard. It's a hard comparison.
Right.
But what we're not measuring is Wembanyama on the defensive end. Shaq was probably not a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. Maybe he was.
No.
Maybe he was, dude. I don't know. I don't remember. That was in '92. So you'd have had Gary Payton, you'd have had Jordan, you'd have had Elijah Wan, you'd have had David Robinson. Right. So Shaq probably wasn't in the top 5 in Defensive Player of the Year. Wemby should be number 2. He may or may not be. I don't know. He should be number 1. But
yes.
So Wembanyama compares very favorably against Shaquille O'Neal by per 36 minutes.
Hey,
and then
David Robinson's numbers. That's an interesting one because remember he was 2 years late because of the baby.
It's not going to be fair because he was like 24.
26.
I know.
26?
No, he was like 24.
He
had
I bet you he was
sneaky, unbelievable rookie year.
No. I'm with you. I'm 100% with you. Choose seasons for each choice. David Robinson. Greatest shoulders in the game. He was 24 as a rookie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had an amazing rookie season. Rookie season. All right, here we go. Buckle up. It's going to get bumpy. Oh, my God.
Yeah, he was ridiculous, dude.
Yeah, and he was doing all the Wemby efficiency stuff too here.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Now that's the real deal. But let's go look at per 36 minutes because he played 36.6 minutes a game as a 24-year-old, and we're comparing him to a 19 and 20-year-old who played 29 minutes. So when we go to 36, Wembanyama, 2 more points, more blocks, the same steals approximately, twice as many assists, and then some, more rebounds, a better free throw percentage. He shot threes, and Robinson didn't. He took fewer shots and shot a better percentage from 2. He's better.
That's wild. That's crazy.
That's what I'm telling you. What I think people, and this is what this whole nut sweating session is about, is that I don't think people understand he only played 29 minutes a game. Now, I'm not saying that with his frame, he can play 36, 37 minutes a game. I don't know if he's got that in him or not. I honestly don't. We know he can get through a whole season and be incredibly durable because he played how many games? Freaking guy played in the 70s, didn't he? 71 games. That's pretty good for a 7'5" dude. If he can put on, how much weight can he put on and still be Victor Wembanyama, Jonathan? 20?
50 pounds.
Stop it. How many pounds can he put on and still be this freak job player?
He probably put 30 pounds on. He probably put 30 on. I mean,
what did Durant gain?
So you think he could get to 180? No, I'm just kidding.
Well, they list Durant, Cam. They list him at 240, which is
yeah.
But when he came into the league, what was he?
He was probably about 210, 215. 6'9", 6'10", 215 is what Durant came to the league at, probably.
I I just couldn't care less about the 36-minute thing. The more I saw you do it, because I was like, yeah, that's right. There's a reason. The dude didn't play 36, 37 minutes. It's the same reason. Well, I'm sorry.
There is a reason. They didn't want to win.
It's load management also. It's all of those things. And that's why today's deal, like if you put Giannis in a per 36, dude, he might be the third greatest player of all time, statistically. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, I'm just saying, like, I don't think you can look at it that way. There's a reason why.
You have to. Well, you've got to account for a missing 6 minutes. He's missing 6 minutes. Okay, next year, how many minutes a game is going to be playing next year per game?
If Wembanyama plays 35 minutes a game next year, then okay. Like I already told you, I think next year I see a 27, 12, 4 blocks, 4 or 5 assists. I see that next year, But I think that happens in 30 minutes for him next year.
It might.
Yeah,
it
I
might.
really do. So
it might. The question is, will 35 pounds unleash a completely another level of insanity, or will that not be good? Because I mean, it gets weird. You can't split hairs with Shaq because his career turned out amazing, right? But you kind of wish you'd have seen, well, what if Shaq had kind of followed the LeBron James path? Like if LeBron James wanted to weigh 290, he could. But he's playing at 250 for a reason, and he's the perfect 250. Like he's the perfect human being, the greatest looking 250, 6'9", 250 you could possibly sculpt, right? So you wonder, what if Shaq had played at 275, 280 instead of at some point, Jonathan, 340?
No. You don't remember.
Oh, God, here we go. Here comes the story, Cam. Buckle up. Hey, turn around. Tell the Warriors facility. Y'all buckle your ass up. Pixley's about to tell some kind of story about a scale. He's got a friend who was a nurse for LSU. Go ahead. Tell the story.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I don't listen to Shaq. Because Shaq said at one point he weighed like, 415, I think?
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't listen to him. But you'll remember this name. And this guy is full of credibility. Okay. Remember Doug Anderson?
Why is he full of credibility?
No, I'm just joking. So, but he tells this story. It's pretty funny that Shaquille,
well, lay the foundation. Doug Anderson was a local high school player and a really good one. He went to play at LSU at the same year that Shaq was there. So finish your story. Go ahead.
So Shaq, when he was when he was in college, they listed him at like 290. And he said, I saw Shaq step on the scale multiple times. Dude was never less than 330 in college. Okay, now let's just say that's close to true. Okay. There was an article when the Lakers came out and played the Nets in the finals in the early 2000s.
Yes.
USA Today. And it came out, and I don't know who leaked this or whatever, or if it's true, that Shaq weighed 387 when he played the Nets.
Good luck, Aaron Williams. Good luck, Aaron Williams and the murderer, Jason Williams.
I'm telling you, go back and look at Shaquille in the early 2000s, and I can see him weighing 375, 380 pounds.
So that means in Boston, he was like 430.
787. It sounds like an airplane.
He didn't have any muscle in Boston, so he lost. He actually
okay. Well,
because he had to lean out. Remember when he went to Miami? He had to trim down.
Oh, he was super lean. I was worried about it. I thought he had an eating disorder. He was so thin. I thought he had an eating disorder. He didn't look like Manute Bol down there. Looked like Manute Bol.
I'm just telling you, if he weighed 387.
Hey, do we want to have the conversation right now on this channel for the public about you and your brother claiming that Arnold Schwarzenegger is 5'10"? Are we going to have this conversation?
I think he's like 5'8". Yeah,
not 5'8". That's Tom Cruise.
The best thing is that y'all act like it's a well-known fact. Yeah. It's the biggest secret in Hollywood, but everybody knows it.
Conspiracy ever in Hollywood.
Right.
And
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Hey, Dwayne Johnson's really like 6'1". Like
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I've watched Conan the Barbarian. Okay, my hero is not 5'9". Okay, my hero Arnold Schwarzenegger is not 5'8", 5'9".
Well, then Wilt Chamberlain is 9'1".
That's not a fair frame. The guy has been measured a million times. He stepped onto bodybuilding stages all over the world. You're telling me they never measured his height? You're telling me you and your brother in Baton Rouge, Louisiana are using a picture of Arnold Schwarzenegger post-career with Wilt Chamberlain as your measuring stick for how tall a guy is?
A lot of pictures. Why is he not that much taller than Sylvester Stallone?
Stallone
He
is. Stallone's
He is. He is. It's smoke and mirrors. There's no way that guy was the greatest bodybuilder in the world at 5'8" in the heavyweight division.
So why would they pick him out for there to be a conspiracy about his height?
You picked him out. You're the one who brought it up, and I said, "No."
It is interesting. I am kind of on the fence here because they do in Hollywood. They do make people look way taller.
You're not going to go find out anybody else's conspiracy height. Like if you put conspiracy height in the thing, I'll bet Arnold Schwarzenegger is the next person that pops up.
I'm not putting the word conspiracy into my computer because I don't want to get hacked. I don't want to be stereotyped. Let me type in.
All those bodybuilders look tall, but like Jay Cutler's only 5'9".
Dude,
if you know Jay Cutler,
look,
not the football player, the other one.
He's 5 inches taller.
Who?
Look at the picture. Oh, I'm not sharing it. Look at the picture.
That's
a
bad
angle. It's a bad angle.
Sorry, I'm on some weird site. I'm about to get banned.
He's got inserts.
Dude, what are we talking about here?
Stallone.
Dolph Lundgren is 6'9".
No.
Look at this picture. You're going to sit here and tell me, where's Chris Pixley? How do I invite him and get him on here? Because he was steadfast. He's like, oh, dude, everybody knows it. Everybody knows that Arnold Schwarzenegger is 5'9".
Lundgren is 6 foot.
Get out of here.
I think Stallone's 6 feet tall. I think that's what the problem is.
If he's standing on like one of those aerobics steps that old ladies use to get their aerobics workout in, he might be. But I'm looking at this picture, and I'm going to just apply some simple math and something that we call vision. And I'm telling you, if Sylvester Stallone in this picture is 5'9", you know, and he might be wearing those Hoka shoes with the big soles. You don't know what he's wearing. But let's just say he's wearing Hokas or high heels. Let's say he's 5'9". I would think from this picture, what would you say Schwarzenegger is? 6'2"?
That picture right there, if Stallone is 5'7", which is what he's supposed to be, I think, Schwarzenegger is 5'11". Yeah.
Everybody's shrinking. Everybody's shrinking. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find another picture.
He's just not 6'2". Let's just say that.
Here's a picture. There's a picture for the ages. How tall is this guy? 3'4"?
What is
Who's this guy? Who's this guy? He's shorter than the girl. So Sylvester Stallone, first of all, thank God we can't see Sylvester Stallone's shorts because they're tiny. Okay? I don't want to share that with the world.
But does that not look like Drew? just for a little bit.
It does look like Drew a little bit.
Black shirt.
That's one of the worst outfits I've ever seen in my life.
That's not a t-shirt with the sleeves cut off. Those are just sleeves doing their best. We're trying our ass off. We just can't cover this guy's freaking bicep.
He's wearing a onesie. Look, those aren't any shorts.
That's not a unitard. Those are just teeny tiny shorts, and he's got his shirt tucked in.
Okay. I'm assuming they're coming from a workout, and Schwarzenegger's wearing a collared shirt.
Dude, he would work out. He works out in the office.
He didn't care. Farm agent.
All right, we're digressing here. All right, that's it for this episode. I don't know. I didn't introduce you, Cam. Cam has a history. He played basketball. Cam grew up in basketball, and he has to listen.
I don't even know why I'm on this channel. I didn't provide any services.
Well, I just wanted to get more views since you're at the Warriors, practice facility. I thought maybe we get a few extra views, a few extra clicks.
Yeah, right.
I thought maybe you get us some insight on Draymond and Klay Thompson.
We're going to be downsizing pretty soon. We're going to get rid of a couple guys.
I hope so. Yeah. Fine.
What else, Jonathan? Anything else? Are you going to watch the play-in games tonight? You going to watch your Heat beat the Sixers?
I will watch my Heat beat the Sixers and then be on their way to beating the Pacers in the second round too.
Why don't we bet money? Can we bet money on YouTube? I don't know if that's legal. Why don't we just bet something on your Heat versus my Sixers?
Yeah, your Sixers. Okay. What do you want to bet? Cam, you call it.
The next time we do this show, you're gonna have to wear a shirt just like this one that Stallone's wearing.
And I have to stand like that.
Yes, you have to stand the whole episode. The next episode, you have to stand and wear a shirt just like Stallone. That's what we're doing. All right.
Since you can't pull that off, what are we gonna do?
I can't. I don't know.
You have to wear bikers and stand up the entire time.
Never. I would not do that to my viewers.
Was wearing. Yeah.
I would not do that to my viewers. All right, I've got to go. I've got a soccer game to watch because we are a soccer family. The Pinkies are out. That's another episode. We need to get back next week. We have an idea next week that I think everybody's really going to like. Even if you don't like basketball, I think you're going to like our idea next week. Cam, you will not be invited back for this one. You don't have enough life experience. This is going to be going back in the 80s and 90s, but we will get you back on when we start talking about basketball again. So next episode is going to interest people who are watching the channel, even if you're not interested in basketball. Which, if you're not interested in basketball, I don't know why you're watching this channel.
Seriously,
yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. As always, keep collecting, stay positive in the hobby, and peace.